This training, I'm literally going to reveal the automated webinar funnel strategy that has made me over $4.2 million selling high ticket offers using the power of Instagram and automated webinars. And as you can see here, we have this screenshot just to show proof another $300,000 was collected in wires. So if you're new here, my name is Tyjon Richard, and I've scaled 2 separate businesses to over 7 figures in revenue. And many know me for being responsible behind some of the biggest faceless Instagram theme pages. And I also run a multi-7-figure per year coaching business, teaching people how to do the same. And if you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, or have some type of high ticket offer, this will single-handedly be the most valuable video you watch this year when it comes to growing your business, as I'm going to be revealing the secret to Instagram plus automated webinars, and the strategy has literally made us millions of dollars for our high ticket coaching offer. And today I'm going to show you the entire system. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to be showing you, number one, how we come up with a high ticket offer to sell, how we use Instagram to bring us thousands of leads every single day, the exact automated webinar that's generated us millions of dollars, how to set up an insanely high converting automated webinar, the systems we use to nurture clients on autopilot, and I'm even going to be showing you how to set up the entire system so you can literally copy and paste it in your business today. So if you've ever tried running ads to a VSL, Facebook groups, a low ticket offer, etc. Maybe you try getting clients through outbound DMs. Maybe you try hiring an agency before to quote unquote save your business, because I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing right now. Or maybe you've been hiring coach after coach with no success. I want to let you know that today I'm going to completely change the way that you look at your current business and give you years worth of marketing knowledge for completely free. This is the same strategy we used to hit $500,000 in a single month in January of this year. So this isn't some outdated strategy that doesn't work anymore. No, this is working till this day. And first things first, in order to succeed with any high ticket offer business, you need to have an offer. Now, this goes without saying, but for those of you who don't know, an offer is the thing that solves a problem your audience is having. And every offer that you create should be solution based. Specifically, when you're selling anything on an automated webinar, it's important that the offer that you have should be solution based. So some examples of this is, the problem is aspiring authors, they don't know how to publish and market their books. A solution for this is we'll teach you how to write, publish, and profit, a coaching program to self-publishing and selling your first book. Another problem that people have is struggling with losing weight while balancing a busy lifestyle. The solution to this is a 12-week coaching plan to lose weight without giving up your favorite foods. One last one, just for an example, is freelancers struggling to raise their rates and getting premium clients. The solution for this is the Premium Freelancer Blueprint. Land high ticket clients and earn more while working less. These are examples all the way. And this is actually an offer that we ran, which is people scroll on Instagram every day when they can be getting paid just a post, a 16-week coaching program teaching them how to start, build, and scale faceless Instagram theme pages that actually make money. Any offer that fails to be solution-based will not work with what I'm going to be showing you today. So super important that you do this. And if you have an offer currently right now and it's not solution-based, I want you to start to think, how can I make my offer more solution-based? And if you don't even have an offer yet, ask yourself, what problems have I faced and overcame that I can package and help someone overcome as well? This training isn't about creating offers, but if you'd like me to do a video on building bulletproof offers that make people want to throw their cart at you, let me know down below in the comments. So now that we have an offer, we need a vehicle, we need a way of actually selling it. That's what this whole training is about here today. And creating the offer is one part of the equation, but the vehicle you use to sell it is a whole nother. There are low ticket funnels, video sales letters, waitlist funnels, strictly selling through the DMs, Facebook groups, starting paid communities, and the list literally goes on. And unless you've been living under a rock, things have literally changed. The old way of getting high ticket clients online isn't as effective as it used to be. And what used to work very well was having an ad that goes straight to a VSL, then to a book a call page. And if you've been doing this within the past 6 months to a year, you probably know that no-show rates are at an all-time high. And to be honest with you, this is outdated as fuck. And it's insane how many coaches are teaching this and charging people tens of thousands of dollars for outdated methods that simply don't work anymore. And the old way used to work, but things have literally changed. The truth is, we're in the midst of trust being at an all-time low. This is a chart of the current economic conditions index. And as you can see, since the start of 2024, it has been on a massive decline. And basically what this tells us is consumers aren't trusting anything right now. This is why no-show rates are at an all-time high. This is why people aren't really buying your high-ticket offers like they used to back in the day. And because of this, this is forcing us to change the way in how we actually sell our offers. And this is why automated webinars are so powerful, because they allow you to overcome this trust gap that we're currently facing in today's economy, which means converting people on a high-ticket offer from just a VSL isn't going to cut it anymore like it used to, especially with the rise of anyone being able to just launch a VSL and become an expert in the matter of 7 days. This is why sales are at an all-time low for high-ticket offer owners. Show-up rates are at an all-time low. And the truth is they simply don't build enough trust or stand out in today's world with as much skepticism and how it's at an all-time high. And all of these factors, they ultimately lead to a high cost per call, low show-up rates, poor close rates, etc. And the solution to this is an automated live experience that can get any lead to go from cold to sold, ready to buy your offer in less than 24 hours. That's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can achieve this with the perfect automated webinar funnel. This is single-handedly responsible for generating us millions of dollars. Now, there are multiple kinds of funnels. There are multiple kinds of webinar funnels, I should say. And those three are just-in-time webinars, live webinars, you have automated webinars. And just to kind of give you a quick synopsis or a quick breakthrough of each webinar type, a just-in-time webinar is basically when a lead lands on a page and is told the webinar is about to start in less than 15 minutes. So after registering, the lead sticks around for however many minutes are left before they actually get an invite or access to the actual webinar room. This gives the illusion that the webinar is live. Effective, but it has its own problems. The biggest is leads are dropping off because they don't want to wait. Next, we have a live webinar. A live webinar is when a lead lands on a page and can sign up for a webinar that is happening on a specific date at a specific time. Once again, super effective because this is live and people respect this, as well as getting people to buy is arguably easier on live webinars than it is on any other kind of webinar. The problem with this, you lose a lot of money because at best, only about 30% of everyone who signs up to a live webinar will actually show up. So what happens to the rest of the people? They're gone with the dust. So this leaves us with our last type of webinar, and that's an automated webinar. An automated webinar is when a lead lands on a page and they can sign up for a webinar that is running 24/7. By far the most effective because they can watch right where they are. It doesn't matter. They don't have to wait. There's no leakage in leads. And obviously it has its own drawbacks. Number one, people will feel like they can watch later and leave the page. Number two, conversion rates are going to be lower up front. However, there are ways to combat this. If you follow the perfect automated webinar funnel that I'm going to be showing you today, you'll be easily able to be put in a way better position for scale. So what exactly is the perfect automated webinar funnel? This system takes the best parts of every webinar type and fixes their flaws. This is exactly how it works. Number one, it's the hook. The second someone lands on your webinar page, you literally have to grab them right where they're at. And we're talking about a promise that's so specific and so clear and so aligned with their desires that they can't ignore it. Example, how to get a big result without painful obstacle in the next 30 days. So for this example, it would be how to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days without letting go of your favorite foods. This is an example of a hook that catches their attention. And now they're emotionally hooked. You're not just another webinar, you're the answer they've been searching for. And this is why having a solution-based product is so important. So if you do not have a solution-based product, and I keep reiterating this, but it's so important, you're gonna have to go back to step number one, because without having a solution-based product, everything I'm gonna be showing you here today is seriously gonna be hard for it to work for you. Number two is the instant access, the no waiting. This is by far my favorite part of it because they literally get instant access to the training. There's no just-in-time countdowns. There's no signups for something that's happening 2 days from now. No, they register and they're in within the same 60 seconds. Why? Because if you make them wait, they leave. You lose the attention, you lose the lead, you lose the sale. Attention spans are short, and it's important that we keep the momentum hot. Think about it. If you were to sign up to watch a video, however, you had to wait months and months and months and months and months, or not even just months. Let's say you had to wait weeks before you could actually see the video. How likely are you to be in the same mindset that you were in when you first signed up to watch it? It's kind of like Netflix series where you'll watch a series, you'll binge watch it, you'll get all the way into the end. And it literally takes over a year, maybe takes 7, 8 months, 16 months for the next season to come out. And by the time the next season comes out, you kind of lost interest in that show. You forgot what happened. You forgot where you left off. And it's like you're starting over from scratch and you're not in the same mindset that you were in when you were originally binge watching it. And this is why keeping a momentum up is so extremely important. Number 3 is a value-driven presentation. And this is actually where most people screw up. If you ever ran any kind of webinar, whether it's a just-in-time, whether it's a live, whether it's an automated webinar, and you didn't see success, there's a very good chance it's because your presentation was off. And it's so important that we're actually doing the right thing inside of a webinar to get somebody from cold to sold. So I'm going to show you the psychology to actually breaking this down. And also one thing I want you to note as well is the psychology between a live webinar and an automated webinar is 2 different psychologies. So you can't just run your live webinar as an automated webinar. It's not going to work. And if you've done that before, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is going to be on average about plus or minus 30-minute presentation max. Typically, this is what I recommend. This is what's working for us. And I've seen them as long as 2 hours and they still convert. The more sophisticated your audience, the shorter. The less sophisticated your audience, the longer. So typically, if you're targeting anybody B2B, it's going to be shorter. They're pretty sophisticated audience, business owners, entrepreneurs. And if you're targeting somebody like you have a business opportunity, you're teaching somebody this new way of doing something and they're less sophisticated, you have to actually teach them on this new idea that you're teaching or this new concept that you're teaching. Typically, the longer the presentation has to be, just so you can get them from cold to sold. And we typically like to create our slides in like Google Slides, Canva, or Keynote. And it's important that with every automated webinar, you get straight to the point within the first 5 minutes of showing. Literally, you want to show them, number 1, you're worth their time. And number 2, you're the person with the solution they need. So here's an example of one of our automated webinars that's made us millions of dollars. I'm going to show you exactly how I get this done in the first few slides. So hey, by the end of today, I'm going to be showing you how to make money from Instagram in as soon as 7 days with 0 to little out-of-pocket costs. And it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner. It doesn't matter if you always try new businesses and you always fail. It doesn't even matter if you have a small budget. As long as you have 60 minutes per day, everything I'm going to show you today can work. In fact, it has worked for over 1,700 of our students. As you can see, Ripley made this much, Anthony made 1K in 2 days, Patricia made this much. We even have Darius over here who made this much, and so on. In fact, in today's training, we're going to be talking about number 1, the biggest, most wide open opportunity that nobody's talking about when it comes to Instagram and how you can do it with 0 experience. Number 2, the 3 steps to recurring hands-free income with Instagram that anyone can start with as little as $0. Number 3, how to automate 95% of the work without ever having to post a single content yourself. And then you guide them. This is exactly what you need to be doing. This is how strong you need to start on your automated webinars if you really want them to convert and if you really want them to work. And you'll see that I'm showing them I'm worth their time, and I'm also showing them that, hey, I'm the person with the solution they need. Because every single person that signs up for this training, I literally tell them, hey, we're going to show you this new way of making money from Instagram. And I show them like, hey, if you've experienced new businesses before and it didn't work and you always try things and it fails and you really don't have that much money, we're literally speaking specifically to them, and then we're reassuring them, showing them the results that we've been able to get thousands of people. Now, it's super important that, when you guide them, you don't want to guide them with fluff. You don't want to guide them with random information, but instead you want to guide them by clearly showing them how you solve their exact problem and how they can too. And it's key that during this training, you use something that we call the sell, don't tell framework. This framework has single-handedly made us millions of dollars, where we basically provide immense value by selling the transformation and not telling how to do it step by step. This is where 99% of people go wrong with webinars. And too many times I hear people say webinars don't work. But the truth is, it's not that webinars don't work. It's your psychology and the framework that you're using to actually sell on the webinar that didn't work. And most webinars fail because they tell people how to do everything step by step. And while the intentions there are right, the outcome won't be what you want. And I want you to remember this, that webinars are a tool to inspire action. It's not a free tutorial. Your goal is to paint a vivid picture of the transformation they'll experience, the possibilities that await, and the obstacles they can overcome with your solution. And webinars are about empowering your audience to believe in the outcome you're offering, not overwhelming them with a checklist of tasks. Too many times we do this. We'll say, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And this gets people leaving your webinar feeling like they have exactly everything. And instead of saying, here's exactly how to do it, instead you want to show them this is what's possible and here's a vehicle to get you there. You build trust, excitement, and the desire by focusing on why it works and what's possible and how this thing that you're showing them will change their life. Leaving the how for when they take the next step with you. And when done right, webinars, they don't just educate, but they inspire and they convert. The next part is actually building trust. Right? Trust is at an all-time low and skepticism is at an all-time high. And this is why your webinar, it literally cannot feel like a pitch. It has to feel like a conversation, like a breakthrough, even the roadmap to their success. And you do this by showing real results, testimonials, screenshot stories, teaching valuable insights that they probably haven't heard of before, and actually humanizing yourself. Right? Storytelling, being vulnerable, being relatable. Too many times we're not relatable. We want to be vulnerable. We want to show these people that we're not special. We're just like them. We probably came from a similar situation that they're in right now. People buy from people. They don't buy from robots. And I want to give you a hint. Give away 99% of your best stuff, value, and have them pay for the other 1%. And if you can find out a way to give them your best stuff without telling them how to do it step by step, this is literally the golden spot you want to be in order to have a hyper profitable automated webinar. Number 5 is actually scarcity without the sleaze. By the end of the webinar, you've already done the work. Right? They see the value, they want the solution. Now you introduce them to your offer. But here's the key. No pressure and no desperate sales tactics. A lot of times you can actually lose a sale by being extremely desperate. Oh, we only have 5 minutes left before this offer is gone forever, so and so and so and so. Instead, what you want to do is you want to create ethical urgency, right? Bonuses for action takers, a limited number of spots, special pricing for those who act fast. So here's a creative way of how we've done it before, and it worked really well. So this is an example of an event. And at this event, we were saying, hey, you know, the first 100 seats, it's going to be this much. Seats 101 through 250, the price is literally going to triple. And it seats 250 to 1,000, they are literally going to 5, 6, 7x. And on this actual page, we have an embedded code where this 95 out of 100 spots is literally blinking and it's going up. So in real time, no matter what time they're watching this automated webinar, they feel like, hey, I need to actually like get my spot before it goes to the next pricing anchor, which is literally a 3 to 4x increase. People need a reason to act now, and this reason that you give them needs to be believable. It has to be realistic, and you want to give it to them, but do it in a way that builds excitement, not skepticism. And you can do one of two things. Number one, you can send people at the end of this automated webinar, you can send them straight to purchase whatever it is that you have to offer. I've seen offers that were on automated webinars where they were selling a $2,000 product at the end, and they're doing this profitably at scale. It's a coaching company, and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day towards our automated webinar, selling a $2,000 product at the end. So that absolutely works. And another way that you can do it is having them book a call with someone from your team to close and inform them on your offer. Now, the last part of this equation is actually following up. Most sales don't happen on the webinar itself. This is where your follow-up system comes in, and this is by far the single-handedly thing that we've implemented that has easily made us an extra $400,000-$500,000. And if there's anything that you take from this training, I want you to take this right here. And we set up these follow-up systems, which are specifically email sequences that re-engage the people who didn't buy, retargeting ads that remind them of the offer if they've seen the offer, and personalized touches like referencing specific parts of the webinar that they watched or maybe that they may have missed. And all of this works together to turn a maybe into a yes. So a bonus tip is whatever automated webinar platform you're using, you want to be able to tag people based on how far they got into your webinar. So for this example, If somebody registers to our webinar, obviously we tag them. If somebody attends the webinar, we tag them, because just because you register doesn't mean you attend. If they leave before we actually get into the meat of the training, we tag them. If they leave maybe in the middle of the meat of the training, we tag them. Every single secret, so every single automated webinar we have, we like to break out these big ideas that we're talking about. We like to come up with 3 big ideas or 3 secrets, call it whatever you want, 3 main points that we're going to hit on during this automated webinar. And we like to set up tags for each one. So if anybody leaves during a specific one and we see a spike in this, we can read the data and we can say, hey, we need to change this secret, we need to make it more engaging, so on and so forth. That's another tag we do. We also set up another tag. We set up all these tags. Let me go over all the tags that we kind of set up. But basically, a lead who didn't see any of the main value pieces shouldn't receive the same emails of someone who's seen everything and the offer. This is super key, because this allows you and your team to dial in on, the email sequences that are being sent out. So what I like to do, the following with our tags are this. For all of our automated webinars that we set up or we help set up, we like to set up tags for people who left before seeing the main 3 points, people who left before the end of point 1, point 2, point 3. So I can actually track which one isn't the most engaging, people who left right before the offer, people who left right after the offer, even people who clicked on the offer but didn't purchase or book a call. And the perfect automated webinar funnel literally runs on autopilot 24/7, 365. It warms up cold leads, it builds trust, and it sells for you even while you sleep. This is how we've generated over $4.2 million. And this is how you can scale your high ticket offer too. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you is I want to show you exactly how you can build this system step by step for yourself. So number 1 is actually hosting your webinar. We love to use EverWebinar. Now I know there are dozens of webinar tools out there. There's GoToWebinar, there's Webinar Jam. Webinar Jam and EverWebinar are actually owned by the same company. You have all these different tools. We love EverWebinar, and you can use this if you want. Why we use them? Because it's reliable, intuitive, and specifically built for automated webinars. That's important. Whatever tool you use, you want to make sure it's built for automated webinars. There's some tools that are built for live webinars, or some tools that are built for both. You want to make sure your tool is specifically built for automated webinars, so it has a 99.9% uptime and nothing is ever down. So here's exactly how it works. Number 1, after you sign up for EverWebinar, whatever webinar platform you want to use, you're going to actually upload your pre-recorded webinar. So the way that we typically like to record our webinars is we'll make these slide decks, anywhere from 30 to 40 slides. For the longer webinars, obviously it's going to be way more slides. And we'll actually get that presentation, and then I'll load up on my Mac, or if you're on a Windows, you'll load up on your Windows computer. And you'll start a screen recording. You start a screen recording while you're talking over the video, just like I'm doing right now. And you're gonna upload that pre-recorded webinar. Second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna schedule it to run 24/7. And you're gonna customize a live-like experience. EverWebinar makes it look and feel like a live webinar without you having to show up every time. This is how you scale without burning out. Step number 2 is your actual landing page. Now, this is where first impressions are made. This is an example of a landing page that we actually have on one of our offers right now that has been working wonders for us. You need a high converting landing page that hooks visitors immediately. For this, you can use Webflow or ClickFunnels. That's who I use. And here's the structure of a winning landing page. You want a killer headline that promises a specific transformation, a sub headline that builds curiosity and creates urgency, and a simple opt-in form. The goal of this is to make it impossible for them to leave without signing. And after they register, you're going to send them to a thank you page, and you're going to use this page to actually confirm their registration, get them excited, and actually give them access to this. So what I want to do is I want to actually show you one of the automated webinars that we have set up and running, so you can see this for yourself. So I'm going to come here, and as you can see here, discover how to start, build, and scale faceless Instagram pages and build a new stream of income as a beginner without needing followers or showing your face. So you come here, you're gonna put in your information, John, and your phone number. Now, the cool thing about the way that we have it set up is we have a custom script embedded. So after they click yes, I want the free training, they're then going to see a time that looks like it's coming up. So it has the same effect as just in time, like, hey, we're just a few minutes away. And then they get to select the time that they want to join. But the cool part is they can actually join the live room right away. And this is exactly how you kind of want to have yours set up. And then they can actually see the live webinar. The automated webinar. I'm not going to actually play this, but that's kind of our landing page and our whole flow that you could definitely just copy and paste. And the goal for this is for them to leave. We don't want them to leave without signing up. We want to make it next to impossible, you all. And that's exactly why we have it set up that way. So the next part of this equation is actually the email automations. Now, the real power of the system is in the follow-up. And since it's fully automated, we don't send generic pre-webinar emails. Instead, we focus on delayed behavior-based follow-ups that respond to exactly what the prospect did or didn't do during the webinar. Here's how it works. Number one, if they didn't watch the webinar, some people will register, but they'll never watch. For those leads, we send a get back to it flow. For example, hey, I noticed your webinar, no worries, you can watch it now, or we'll just include a link for them to jump right back in. Or maybe somebody watched it, but they didn't finish. Maybe they got distracted, life gets in the way, or they dropped off halfway. These leads get a re-engagement flow. So you were so close to discovering whatever the big result is. Here's where you left off. Click below to finish and start them right where they stopped to keep the momentum going. Number three is watch the full webinar, but didn't buy. They saw the whole thing, but they didn't take action. These leads get a targeted flow designed to address the objections. Example, still thinking about it? Here's why this is a perfect time to take the leap. We share testimonials, we handle common objections, and we create urgency. Hey, these bonuses that we mentioned earlier, they're expiring soon. Or hey, these seats are literally going up and we're about to hit the next price target. So I want you, get in if this is something that you're considering doing. And each email sequence is timed perfectly to nurture prospects and move them closer to making a decision. And with Active Campaign, this process is 100% automated. You don't lift a finger and you just watch the results kind of roll in. That's who we use for email automations. It's going to be Active Campaign. And this kind of personalization makes all the difference. You're not just following up, you're showing them you understand where they are in the process and you're guiding them to the next step. And that's how you turn more leads into high ticket clients on autopilot. Step number 4 is tying everything that I just talked about together. Here's how the full system looks. Your lead lands on a landing page built in your preferred funnel builder. They register for your automated webinar. They're guided through a carefully crafted email sequence. They attend the webinar, they get nurtured, and they convert into high ticket clients. All of this happens automatically. There's no manual work. There's no constant follow-ups. It's a machine that literally works for you. So you can focus on scaling your business and not babysitting your leads. And for Taha, this is one of our clients that we actually implement this system for. And he actually surpassed over 100K within a year with a brand new offer using this exact same framework. This is exactly how we've set up systems to generate millions of dollars. And now you have the blueprint to do the exact same. So now you have an offer, you have your automated webinar system set up, and now you need to actually generate traffic to it. So turn your Instagram into a client attraction funnel. While you can spend money on Facebook ads to generate unlimited leads, in today's video, we're just gonna go over how you're able to do this with just Instagram. But if you guys wanna see a breakdown on how we spent over $1 million towards our automated webinar funnel, and it has literally produced us 3 to 4x profit in cash, I want you to let me know down below if that's something that you want, because the next step is to turn your Instagram profile into one that attracts all of your dream clients. This means optimizing your bio, your highlights, and posts to attract your ideal clients and prove that you're the authority in your industry. So how do we do this? Step number 1, this goes without saying, optimize your profile. You want a clear profile picture, a concise bio that conveys ATC, which stands for authority, trust, and call to action, story highlights, and content that gives pure value. So I'll show you a perfect example. My personal page, as you can see here, we have authority. Hey, the guy that made $1 million with theme pages. We have testimonials. My students made $750,000 plus so far. And then we have call to action, free training today. And they can watch the automated webinar right where they are. And then you'll see that we have a clear profile picture of me smiling. Quick little hint. If on your Instagram profile you're not smiling, as crazy as this may sound, psychology actually shows and studies show that when you're actually smiling and people see it, they actually trust you more. So that's something I just recommend to everybody, every single one of our clients to do. And then results, you'll actually see the results that we have of our students. And then obviously in the content we post, it's just nothing but value-based content, because that's what people want to see. Remember, you want to give them 99% of your best stuff, make them pay for the other 1%. So step number 2 is creating content that leads back to your automated webinar funnel. And we do this with the content that we actually post, as well as a strategy called OPA. This is how we get content that we know will go viral for us. Step by step. Number 1, I want you to get a list of 5 to 10 people who are in your industry. And after you make this list, you can put it in like a Google Doc or whatever. I then want you to spy on them using a tool called pagegrowth.io. Now, I'll quickly show you what this tool looks like, but pagegrowth.io is basically a super cool tool that actually allows you to spy on your competitors. So as you can see here, it tells me, my competitors, based on my competitors list, what are some of their new performers? What posts are popping off that were posted within the last 3 days that I should watch out for or that I should recreate? Now, I'm going to go to my personal Instagram page just for this example here. But let's say there was somebody else that was in the same niche as me and I wasn't me, and I wanted to compete and I wanted to see, what went viral for him? How can I recreate similar posts that can go viral for me? I'm literally going to go through, their content. I'm going to see, okay, cool. What went viral? What worked for them? For example, Kevin Durant's faceless Instagram theme page is making him millions. Let's see another one. Why you need to start a faceless Instagram page. 21-year-old reveals the secret to going insanely viral on Instagram overnight. Like, I'm literally going to pick this apart, and this is super cool because you're able to see what is actively working for your competitors without spending hours just scrolling through their content. It puts it all in this one easy to follow dashboard that you can just take and use. Perhaps my favorite part is the performance analysis. It literally performs an AI performance analysis that tells you what they're talking about in the actual video or in the actual post, and it'll break it down for you. So that's super cool. That's a tool that I 100% recommend that you go out there and you actually use. I'm going to leave a link down below for you guys to actually get access to this. But you want to take these content ideas and then you want to make them better while adding a call to action to every single post, leading them back to where? Your automated webinar. So this is an example post of how we did it. Comment IG. I'm going to give you the blueprint for free on starting plus scaling your faceless Instagram page. This post had 50,000 likes. It had thousands of comments, and we literally were sending them straight to our automated webinar. So in essence, we're getting all these leads for free because, we didn't pay for this traffic on Instagram. We just so happened to make a good enough piece of content that went viral and was at the top of the algorithm that they shared it and it got pushed to the absolute top. And this is why, using Instagram the right way, understanding your competitors, seeing who's in your industry, seeing what has went viral for them, and recreating that virality for yourself and pushing your automated webinar is so powerful. So now that we have content, we have to utilize OPA to expand and scale. OPA stands for other people's audiences. This is where we start to leverage something called theme pages or shout out pages, where we'll actually pay these big pages to post us and to tag us. And if done correctly, we can gain hundreds of thousands of impressions in a matter of days, not weeks. We literally reach out to big pages that have an audience that we feel resonates with our product and offer. I'll show you a quick example of this. This is one that I paid for. Actually, I didn't pay for it because I'm the owner. I'm actually the owner of this page, Black Wealth, so I got it for free. As you can see, I can view the insights, but let's assume that I paid for this. This was actually one of the reasons, why we started acquiring pages like this, so we can post ourselves for free and we can push our automated webinar in front of more people. But if I were to show you the insights, let's just assume that, I wasn't the owner of this page and I paid for this. This post reached almost 500,000 people. Not just that, there's over 5,000 hours of watch time. The average watch time was 37 seconds. It got over 60,000 interaction, 22,000 shares, 13,000, almost 14,000 saves, 300 comments, 23,000 likes, gained almost 2,000 followers from this post. And imagine what this did for our automated webinar. I can tell you guys this exactly because I remember it. But when this post popped off, and the crazy thing is, this isn't even the best post that we've ever posted as a shout out on another page. But when when this post popped off, I can tell you right now that we made it was a very good week. It was a very good week. Because guess what? All that traffic comes back home to us. Because if you set it up properly, like I was telling you a little bit earlier with your page, guess what? Everything is going to lead back to them watching your automated webinar that's in the link in your bio. And let's say, hey, you know what? Maybe they don't, click the link in your bio. Well, how are they actually going to, go to my automated webinar? And I'll show you everything, right? All that traffic comes to us, and at a fraction of what it would have cost us to run Facebook or Instagram. Now, how do we actually send all of this traffic to our automated webinar? Every piece of content should have a comment X CTA in which ManyChat automatically DMs the leads a link to your automated webinar. So I'm going to show you an example of this. It was the one that no, that's not the right one. It was going to be this one right here, right? This is the one where we actually said comment this and you'll get this. And it's so powerful. We do this in every single post. Now, the last part of this equation, and this is super important. If you plan on launching your high ticket offer with automated webinars, this is the missing link that most people don't have, and this literally brings everything together. And the last part of this equation is the content retargeting ads that we run. So this is a quick mind map kind of showing you how it works. You have your offer. After you have your offer, you have to send traffic to the offer. So we do that with Instagram posts, we do that with story posts, we do that with shout out pages. And all that traffic, we lead them where? To our webinar opt-in page. They watch the webinar, they buy the offer. But for those who don't buy is where content retargeting ads come into place. And we want to make sure that no lead goes untouched. This is where most people mess up. In fact, doing this one thing can drastically increase how much you make with your high ticket offer when it comes to scaling it with automated webinars. And that is letting the leads that were already in your ecosystem forget about you. And this one hack that I'm going to show you will make you an overnight celebrity without any extra work, right? It's called content retargeting, as this is where you shove all of your content in your prospects' face. So every single lead who visits your Instagram page, likes or comments on any post, they even followed you, you're literally going to shove our content in their face. So understand the power of retargeting. If you're here, you have a high ticket offer, I'm assuming you already know what retargeting is. But for those of you who don't, just a quick little breakdown. When somebody interacts with your content, whether they visit your Instagram page, like a post, follow you, they've shown interest in some sort. The problem is most people stop there and hope that these leads come back on their own. Instead, you want to stay top of mind by actively putting your content back in front of them through the power of Facebook ads. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to set up a Facebook brand awareness campaign. This is what we like to do. So obviously log into Facebook Ads Manager, create your campaign. Then once you actually create it, step number 3 is pulling your best Instagram content. You want to go through your Instagram and identify 10 to 20 posts that, number 1, showcase your expertise, highlight client transformations. Maybe they share powerful testimonials or success stories, answer common questions about your offer. You want to take these posts. And the cool thing about this is you can kind of set propaganda in a way because you can control the kind of content that they see. So if you know there's a common objection that keeps on coming up, we can post content that actually overcomes this objection. So, people are trusting more. They let their guard down. You answer their questions above all else. So these will become the ads that you actually run. Make sure that they're engaging and represent your brand well. So the next thing you want to do is when you actually create this brand awareness campaign, I like to do something a little specific, and that is creating one ad per ad set. For each piece of content, we set up one ad per ad set. And this gives Facebook the flexibility to optimize which ad performs best. You'll be running multiple ads simultaneously, with each ad focusing on a specific piece of content. And we're actually able to target the warm leads. In the audience section, you're going to choose to retarget people who visited your Instagram profile, liked, commented on, or saved any of your posts, followed you but didn't take any action, right? You can create these audiences using Facebook's custom audience feature. And step number 5 is actually increasing the ad frequency. So here's the real secret sauce: frequency. And frequency basically measures how often someone sees your ad. And the goal is for your audience to see your content so often that your name becomes impossible to ignore. And in Ads Manager, you can monitor your frequency and aim for 5 to 10 impressions per person per week. So basically, frequency, if you go to your Facebook ads business manager right now, and let's say you look at one old campaign that you ran or one that you're running right now, and you add frequencies to that column so you can see it. If your frequency is on 1, that means the average person that sees your ad, they see it 1 time. If it's 2, if it's 5, if it's 10, that means the average person that sees your ad, they're seeing it 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. And with this specific content retargeting campaign, we want that number to be as high as possible because we want to stay top of mind. This is how you become an overnight celebrity. It's how you become an overnight expert in whatever industry. And the reason this works so well is because by consistently putting your best content in front of warm leads, number one, you build authority because they start seeing you as a go-to expert. Number 2, you create familiarity. When they're ready to buy, you're the first person they think of. And number 3, you increase conversions because people buy from those that they trust, and constant exposure builds that trust. And the last but not least is you set it and you let it work. Once your ads are live, you let them run for a week or 2 and monitor the results. You want to look at the frequency. Is your audience seeing your ads enough? Remember, we want them to see this as much as possible. You monitor the engagement. Are people clicking, interacting with the content? And then conversions. Are they actually signing up or buying? And then you tweak as needed. But let the system do all the heavy lifting for you. And with content retargeting ads, you'll literally dominate their feed, build trust, and drastically increase your chances of converting warm leads into high ticket clients, all without creating new content or doing any actual work. And if you take anything away from this video, let it be this: staying top of mind is the ultimate key to scaling your high ticket offer with automated webinars. And that's exactly how we were able to make $4.2 million from Instagram selling high ticket offers with automated webinars. So if you have a high ticket offer and you want to get 3 to 4 plus high ticket clients per week on autopilot with automated webinars, and you actually want us to set up this exact same system for you in the next 7 days, I want you to fill out the application in the first link in the description, where we will actually make sure your offer is automated webinar friendly. We'll help you script your automated webinar for you. We'll actually help you create your automated webinar slides. We'll build your funnel for you. We'll set up your entire webinar environment. We'll connect every single system, and we'll even implement our proven $1 million text and email automation sequence, and we'll even launch your first set of Facebook ads to your automated webinar for you and your Instagram funnel, so you have literally everything you need to see success with this automated webinar. In fact, we're so confident in this, if you don't make 3 times your investment within 3 months after launching and following everything that we tell you to a T, we'll actually refund you and send you $1,000 just for wasting your time. So what I want you to do is I want you to click the top link in the description to actually fill out the application if you want our team to actually help and create your automated webinar for you for your high ticket offer. So that concludes this video. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure you shoot a subscribe, comment down below what was your biggest takeaway from this training, and also be on the lookout for any new videos. And if you want to connect with me privately, there's a link in the description down below where you can DM me directly on Instagram. See you next one.